If you're taking notes, prioritizing means blocking out time. Everybody say blocking out time.
Blocking out time.
All right, turn to the person on your left, say block out time.
Block out time.
Turn to your neighbor on the right, say block out some time.
Block out some time.
All right, we must block out time. You know, a funny thing when people say they don't have time for stuff, you ever heard somebody say, man, I'd love to hang out with you today, but I just don't have the time, right? Well, aren't we all given the same 24 hours a day? Yes or no?
Yes.
We're all given the same 24 hours. It's how we choose to spend our time, correct? And when things are important to us, we will block out that time, won't we? When something's really, really important to us, we make time for that thing. So we see people, we see this in life. We see people who aren't really morning persons, and yet because they like hunting and they know you got to get up early to go hunting, they get up early. They make it a priority. They make the time, right? We see people wait in lines for a long time for concert tickets, right? We see people wait in line long periods of time to get that deal on Black Friday. Right? They will camp out overnight. Some people, get this, some people will even camp out and pitch a tent and wait in line all night long before the opening of a new Chick-fil-A just so they can get free Chick-fil-A for a year. They will camp out and wait in line all night. Some crazy people will do that just to get the free Chick-fil-A for the year. I don't know anyone personally who's ever done that. Okay, yes, actually I do. They're in this room right now. I'm not going to name names. And no, you're not crazy. I'm just kidding about that. I say it's worth it. I love some good Christian nuggets from Chick-fil-A. But some people will do that. You know, when something's important, you make time for it. Is that true?
Yes.
And so, what do you think is the longest amount of time anyone has ever waited in line to get something that they wanted? How long do you think someone would wait in line? Like a day or like 2 days? Or what do you think is the longest someone has waited in line? What do you think?
3 days. 3, 4?
3 to 4 days? I think I heard a week maybe. I heard a year. That would be crazy, man. If someone waited in line for a year, hopefully they would have been taken to the psychiatric hospital, you know, after a few months. I'm just saying. But like, no, you're not going to just sit here all the time. No, I don't know. The longest I know of is a month. So this guy, whose code name is Captain Nintendo Dude, aka Alex, waited in line for 1 month. He waited in line just so that he could be the first one to get the new Nintendo Switch game system that came out. So he could be the first one, 1 month. Is that crazy? I think that's a little overboard, okay? But the point is, people will make time for things that are important to them. We all have the same 24 hours. So it's just, is this important to you or not? We must schedule regular time with God. You have to put it in your schedule before you schedule anything else. Make it like an appointment just like anything else, and don't let anything less than an emergency get in the way of that appointment with God. So that's your first next step on the back of your Connect card is schedule an appointment with God 5 days this week. You can make it 3 days. You can scratch out the 5 and put 3. You can make it whatever you want. But the point is schedule X amount of days to spend with God this week. All right, and then the next one is join a D group. Why do I emphasize discipleship groups that our church does? I don't know if any of you can relate to this, those of you who have done D groups. I have struggled to get in the Word on a daily, consistent basis. But ever since I started my D groups, and I know I'm going to have to read my Hear Journal to the D group, I do it. Now, sometimes I struggle with not waiting till the night before and doing all 5 the night before. Right? Some of you are laughing because you've done it before. You know what I'm talking about. So my goal, I'm trying to hit my goal of, there's 5 of them. So to do a different one for 5 days, not all 5 on the same day. But at least we're doing them. And what's the difference? Because we know there's accountability there. There's people holding us accountable, and that really does help. All right. So prioritizing means blocking things out. Blocking out our time with God.